Simplify root 72 times root 8 times root 10 times root 12. Now we have two methods. We can either use the first method or the second method. For the second method, it's going to be a bit stressful for this nature of question because we have how many square root number do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the more the number of square root number, the larger the number inside the square root. That is the product of the numbers. We give you a very large number, and that would be a bit stressful to simplify. So the best thing to do is to ensure you use the first method. Once you are having more square root numbers, use the first method. And how do you handle the first method? You need to check whether each of these square root number has a perfect square number, that is specifically highest perfect square number. Now, solution. Square root of 72 times square root of 8 times square root of 10 times square root of 12. Now we have 72. The highest perfect square number in 72 is 36. So we can express this as square root of what? 36 times 2. Then we have times this one, square root of 8. The highest perfect square number, what are we having? 4. This is 4 times 2. 10. For 10 here, 10 is a non-perfect square number. And the highest perfect square number you can get in 10 is 1. So it will still remain the same. So we have this as root 10. Now, square root of 12. The highest perfect square number in 12 is 4. So we have 4 times 3 here. Now, applying the multiplication law of surds. This is same thing as root 36. Then multiply by root 2 times root 4. Then multiply by what? Root 2 times root 10 times what? The last one, root 4 multiplied by root 3. Now, looking at what we are having here, root 36 will give us what? 6. So this will give us 6 root 2. Then times, we have root 4 times root 2 here. What is root 4? That's 2. So this will give us 2 root 2. Then we have root 10 times root 4. This will give us what? 2. So we have 2 root 3 here. So in this case, what is the coefficient of root 10? Is 1. We can make the 1 to be visible. And do not forget the principle of multiplying basic sort form together. The coefficient of the square root number, we multiply equivalent coefficient of square root number. Also, the number inside square root number, we multiply equivalent number inside the square root. Take note of that. So it means that from what we are having here, we now have 6 times 2, looking at the coefficient, times 1, then times what? Times 2. Now for the square root, we have what? We are going to have 2 times 2, then times 10, then times 3. And from here also, we know that root 2 times root 2 will also give us 2. So that's another way to simplify that. So in this case, 6 times 2, we have what? 12. 12 times 1, we have 12. Then 12 times 2, we have what? 24. This will give us 24 root. What are we having here? 2 times 2. This is 4. You can see. We're having 4 here. And this is 10 and this is 3. So we can split this as root 4 times 10 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. So we now have this to be what? Since 4 is a perfect square, then we can apply the multiplication law of surds also. This will give us root 4. But 10 10 is not a perfect square number. Likewise, 3 is not a perfect square number. And 10 times 3 will give us 30. 30 is not a perfect square number. And the highest perfect square number you can have in 30 is also 1. So it means that you can have this to be what? Root 10 times 3 here. Then we have 24 times root 4 will give us what? Root 4 will give us 2 also. So this will give us root 30. So in this case, simplifying, finally, 24 times 2 will give us what? 48. Now we have 48 root 30 as our final answer. Thank you.